Greetings, all of you Mentalians out there live here in Los Angeles from the airwaves of LA Talk Radio, Facebook Live. It is 6 p.m. It is Wednesday. It is February 12th, 2020. Welcome and thank you for joining LA Talk Radio's #1 and most requested podcast show for our 96th rendition of The Mentality Show. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome.
Yeah.
That's right. And guess what today is? Today, as I mentioned, it's February 12th.
Something.
So coming up, we have a very special holiday. It is coming up. That is Valentine's Day. So this is our Valentine's rendition of The Mentality Show. And with Valentine's Day a few days away, love is in the air.
Is it really?
It is. I feel like singing today. But like the great Tina Turner once said, what's love got to do with it?
Good Lord.
What's love? Y'all don't know anything about that, you millennials out there.
We should just let Tina Turner sing that song.
You know what? You're right. Now, today, we have a very, very special guest who will discuss these type of things with us. He's going to discuss attraction. He's going to discuss passion. He's going to discuss love and the truth about marriage and relationships. Now, remember, if you want to chime in on this very special subject today, on this very special day, call in the numbers on the screen. It is 818-570-5085. That's 818-570-5085. It's on the screen. I just gave it to you. If you don't know it by now, then you're the perfect type of audience we like. Right? Or you can hit us up and leave your comments on our live feed. And if we like what you just put on that live feed, we might just read it on the air. So KCs are standing by to get those live feeds read. So now, before we get into that, today's show is brought to you by
Loyalty Auto Group in Corbin. They specialize in sales and leasing if you're looking for exotic and luxury cars, and also Priuses. I know we're not big fans of Priuses on the show. Or rentals. They can get all makes and models, and they combine a 30 years experience, fluent in English, Armenian, Russian. So call Sako, Arturo, Armin, Jairo, Afo, David, all the guys at 818-200-03333 for the best buy results. They give you the best car for your situation. They don't punish you for your situation. Call Loyalty Auto Group. They get it done.
When he says punish you for your situation, he's talking about credit, y'all. Now, if you're new to the Mentality Show, or if you've never seen the show, then we must warn you that the views and opinions expressed on this show, some listeners and viewers may find offensive. Viewer discretion. We don't give a fuck. Let's get into it, gentlemen. I'm your host. It is me. I got V. I got Tech C. I got T. I got KC. And we're going to introduce our next guest coming right up. All right, so
the brakes.
Let's go ahead and get into it. We are so happy to have this gentleman here. And we say we've had special guests in the past, but I mean this with all my heart today. Fellas, I'm sure you're in agreement with me. We have a very special guest. He is an award-winning movie director and producer. He's directed such films as Trekkies, Suckers, 6 Days in Roswell, The Bernie Mac Show, High Strung, and The Office. He's received many nominations throughout the industry for his work on all of these projects. He's an editor for Veep and Curb Your Enthusiasm, which are two of my favorite shows on HBO. He now has an amazing documentary out, coming out. It's called The Truth About Marriage, It's a special documentary that explains why relationships fail, provides scientifically researched tips from psychologists worldwide on how to find the one relationship in your life that can actually go the distance. Coming out on Valentine's Day. Please welcome to our show our very special guest, Mr. Roger Nygard. Please welcome him.
Hi, guys. Good to be here. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
So good to have you here. I tell you, our audience is enthusiastic as well.
They're bigger than I expected.
There you go. Yeah.
That's right. But you know what? We have a huge audience out here. We have so many people that watch the show. But we like to say that this is a safe haven for anything you want to get off your chest, anything you want to talk about. It's just us.
Yes.
It's just us. Okay, so you can trust us.
Fair
I don't
enough.
know about the other 50,000 folks out there. You know?
All right.
So this documentary that you just that's coming out on Valentine's Day, The Truth About Marriage and Relationships. We all saw the documentary.
Very good. It was awesome.
It is one of the most beautiful, well put, scientifically placed. I mean, just everyone. Everything they were saying were backed up because these are professional doctors that are making these comments and giving this advice and things like that.
Did you get something out of it?
I got so many things out of it. So many, and we're going to talk about that. So, if you want to tell the people a little bit about what it's about and why you decided to do a documentary like this, the floor is all yours.
I was wondering why I'm such a failure at relationships. It started there with me. What's wrong with me? Right? I had disastrous relationships. I fell in love, and it was... Here's how I knew I was in love, is because it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
That's how you know, right?
Yes.
Because if you don't feel any, the opposite of love is not hate, it's apathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I had terrible luck, something was wrong. And I put it this way, I started thinking about it. It's like if I was going to sell you a car, and you came to see me, I'm the salesman, you said, is my car any good? Ask me.
Is your car any good?
These cars are awesome. You're going to love it. Everyone loves it. Everyone wants one. They're amazing. And then you might ask me, is there any guarantee?
Is there any guarantee to this?
No guarantee whatsoever. Half of them are going to fail, and the other half that you keep going are going to take a lot of hard work to keep going.
That's a shitty product.
Well, exactly.
Yes.
That's what you tell me. So there's something wrong with this product.
I want to know the miles per gallon, man.
Or how many miles she has on her already.
A lot of valid questions. Yep. I had all these questions about why it's so hard and why it didn't work. And so I bought a stack of books, probably 5 feet tall, all the experts, read the books. It took me a year, and then I started formulating my questions. And so my core question was, why is it so hard? Why are relationships so hard? Why is marriage so difficult? And then I set out, it's kind of like the investigator, to go solve this mystery. Unanswerable, really.
Yes, it is.
But I found answers, and my goal was ultimately to find out why it's a problem, but then could I collect just some very simple, easy, basic things that anyone can do to change the trajectory of their relationship? And you don't have to do any of these things unless you want to be happier.
Right.
Very true.
Right.
So maybe everything's, you want to keep things unhappy and disastrous.
Right.
Don't change a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, I found there are very easy changes that anyone can make. It's a little psychological. You could call them tricks, manipulations, whatever you want. But everyone's happier.
Very true. And there were so many pieces of advice that these psychologists and doctors gave. I'm sitting there I had to write some of this stuff down because I'm like, okay, I won't remember that if I ever get into it with my companion.
Well, I wrote a companion book to go. So I did your work for you and took the notes.
Yes,
so
you
if
did.
You want
Yes,
the book,
you did.
It's all there.
What's the name of the book?
The same title.
Same title. The Truth About Marriage.
The Truth About Marriage at .com is where you can find both.
Truth About Marriage.
Is it available on Amazon? Because that's where most people go to get the books.
That is so okay. So we're on the subject of marriage. Valentine's Day is coming up. You meet someone, you start a relationship, and then hopefully it turns into a marriage. This whole marriage thing. Can you tell us, and you talk about this in your documentary, or some of the guys, can you tell us how the whole concept of marriage even came up, how it started?
Yes. I found that out in my journey doing my research. The anthropologists had the answer, and the historians. Here's the problem. We think of traditional marriage. When was traditional marriage? What do you think of? What era?
My grandparents got married.
1700s,
right?
1800s,
1800s, 1700s,
I'm going to
1920s.
go with the butt crack at dawn.
I'm going to say
Let's hear it.
You're closest.
Say the medieval times.
Human beings have been around for 200,000 years.
Right.
Okay, so 1700s, that's only a couple hundred years ago, right? Or 1,000, go back 2,000. That's still a very small sliver of time in human history. So what's normal for human beings is what we were doing for most of our history. And when things changed is about 6,000 to 10,000 years ago. Before that, human beings lived in small tribes or bands of 150 or fewer.
Right.
And that's when there's a British anthropologist named Robin Dunbar. He has this, it's called Dunbar's number. Human beings can only keep track of up to 150 people. Like keep a social interaction, keep track of each other emotionally. Once a group becomes,
I have at least 150 friends on Instagram.
Yeah, but
so I'm within that.
They're not really your friends when they get beyond that number. They're just names on a page with pictures.
It's hard for me to
some
remember
of the girls
two of
that have
those
like
people.
10,000 or 20,000 followers.
100,000, a million.
That's part of a problem because you can't keep track of who owes you a favor, who's pulling their weight, who's doing their share. That's the size, and they find this in corporations. When a division gets larger than 150, it splits into 2 divisions. So, because of that, when human beings were living in these small groups, small tribes, for most of human history, they shared everything. Food, sex, child rearing, shelter. Everybody owned everything. If you were stingy with your genitals, there was a term for that. Someone who didn't held their sex as a possession, they would be ostracized. That was antisocial behavior.
Wow.
In these tribes.
Boy, have things changed.
Ladies, listen, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like
go
we
back
got
to
the,
those days.
we got the shitty end of that stick.
Delano's not greedy
changed.
with his genitals. He wants to share them with everybody.
Yep.
Well, you got
Only
screwed.
150 people.
6 to 10,000 years ago is when you got screwed, because that's when humans discovered agriculture. They stopped moving around, being nomads, stayed in one place, and the idea of ownership, propriety occurred. And now generally the male would think, how do I make sure that what I own is being left to my own genetic offspring?
Right.
I got to find a way, because you're off working in the field, maybe hunting. If you're not there practicing what the psychologists call mate guarding.
Scully knows about that. He's a jealous guy. I'm not jealous. I'm just mate guarding. I love that.
That's the term for when you're keeping an eye on her, right? And jealousy is a result, is a side effect of when you're not, and you know that she might not have been under your thumb long enough. So how can, it occurred to people, men, the masculine, how can I prevent my woman, my belonging, because she became a possession, property,
Absolutely.
from getting impregnated by my neighbor? They invented this idea of marriage. Marriage is a social fence then that you can put around the female, the one who carries the baby,
Right.
to control her sexuality.
Interesting.
Wow.
If you look in the Bible, the Torah, most religious texts, adultery is a sin that women are punished for, not men.
Right.
Wow.
So marriage it has nothing to do with the religion of the Bible or anything
Well,
like
they
that?
kind of appropriated it because they were the controlling structure of society.
Controlling entity.
Yeah.
in a way.
Because it's better for society. As what happened is culture evolved. Humans stayed the same. We're the same as humans 100,000 years ago, but our culture has evolved rapidly, and so we now are being asked to behave in a way that's out of sync with what's natural for our species.
Which is why everything's all fucked up.
Yes.
So
pretty
basically,
much.
you're saying as more advanced we get as a society, the more we're tearing up a marriage.
Yeah.
The harder it is to be
Hard-
human.
Yes.
Yeah. Because speaking of that, in the film, one of the psychologists, one of the sex doctors, said marriage is not good for some because we as humans are fascinated by novelty, by newness. We need that.
Yeah, Christopher Ryan is the author of a book
Christopher
called
Ryan.
Sex at Dawn
Yes.
and Civilized to Death are his books. That's his quote.
I love that quote. And it's so true. It's so true. In my opinion, I think, and if any of my ex-girlfriends or girlfriends are watching this, I'm just saying this for entertainment purposes.
And
okay?
future girlfriends and future ex-girlfriends.
Future ex-girlfriends,
go.
because we need that.
You just created exes you never met.
I know.
He just broke up on
my
the show.
current future ex-girlfriends. Sometimes I believe that when let's say you're with someone for an extended amount of time, sometimes going out and getting something new and getting that novelty, that newness, makes what you currently have even better. I believe.
Right. Yeah.
That's only me being human.
If you ate Thai food every single day,
Exactly.
and then you go have Italian food, I'm hungry for Thai food again.
That's what I've been trying to say. I've been telling these guys.
Oh, God.
I even communicated
But he does it
effectively.
in Kobe steak.
Yes. If you had Kobe steak and it's the most delicious to me, that's the most delicious steak ever.
But not every day.
But not every damn day. Every once in a while, you want a chicken head. You want some bologna or something.
You know the old joke.
want that.
Whenever you see a beautiful woman, there's a guy somewhere that's sick
tired
of
of fucking her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep,
Exactly.
we say that all
Tired
the
of doing her.
Yeah,
So
he says
true.
that all the time as well.
So true. I mean, so you and I are eye to eye here.
But does it matter how that Kobe steak is served, though? I mean,
Yes,
Yes, it does matter.
I
Yes,
mean,
it does.
it could last a little longer than you think.
that's
Yeah.
part of the solution.
Only a little bit longer.
Once it's well done, you're done.
That's That's like the gentleman, the comedian in the documentary, your friend
Doug Williams.
Doug Williams. I like the line he said. He said a few nice lines, but he said, if I come to you and I say, look, you're only going to have one food for the rest of your life.
Oh, one car.
One car for the rest of your life. You're like, what kind of deal is that? That's the same thing. You're going to have this one woman for the rest of your life.
You're supposed to go, that's exactly what I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Right. The newness, the novelty is going to wear down. Then that's when the work really starts.
The psychologists, they call it habituation.
Mm-hmm.
There is a good side to habituation. When you have someone that's special to you, it's comfortable. You know they're there.
Yes.
It feels good.
Right.
But also you take them for granted. Habituation has a bad side. And when you take someone for granted,
Right.
you need something new.
Right.
To rekindle your attraction for this person that you're habituated to.
Absolutely. I think what's helped me in relationships where I've grown tired of them after a month. What I do is I start to think of how attracted I was to them when I first saw them.
You're psyching yourself out.
I'm psyching. Right, exactly. It's like, what was it about?
That's
I
not gonna
like
work.
those jeans she wore. I like the way she looked at me at that certain day, and that turns me on even more. But that only lasts for a certain amount of time as well, So I'm going to ask you later on, is
there are
hope
solutions.
for people like
there
me,
are solutions to these things. Yeah, we have to. Monogamy is the law of our society, and we have to exist within it.
Right.
And monogamy has its pluses, but there are ways to handle it and to deal with it. And I mean, there was a polyamorous couple
Yes.
in the film, for instance.
Yes.
And they found a way that works for them.
Well,
It
they're
doesn't-
polyamorous.
Doesn't mean
They
you
can
have
fuck
to
other
be
people.
polyamorous, but there are ways that a monogamous couple can also keep the passion fresh too.
How? They're not fucking other people.
Great question. Right.
We talked
Yeah.
about those relationships earlier, and I felt like there was too many syllables there. Can we just call them swingers, or is that something different?
It's similar, but it is different.
Yeah, swingers
Yeah.
are strangers.
That's
Polyamorous.
This is more of a
People
tribe as a community.
Notice how
Yeah.
Delano knows all about
Well
this.
said.
He does. He's the only one that knows.
My name is Delano Polyamorous.
So that's
Swinger.
Swinger.
So that's the main difference. A swinger is that you're swinging
He's
with
a swinger.
you're on somebody
Stranger.
else's swing you ain't never met before.
Swinging his
Right,
dick everywhere.
exactly.
He's a swinger, a slung swinger.
Just passing H's all over the place.
Well, that's good to know.
There you go.
Yeah, it's I have this question here also. By the way, you guys can ask questions, anything you want to ask. I know I'm being greedy here with this time because it's such an interesting subject.
He's lying. It's hard to shut him up on everything.
especially fucking other people. One sex doctor said that Homo sapiens have more sex than any other species. We're the only species out there next to chimpanzees or something.
Bonobos are in the same category too. Yeah, very sexual, very promiscuous. They have sex like shaking hands. Every time they meet, they have sex.
Damn.
Oh boy!
Wow.
But it may last for a few seconds only. It's just
So
bam,
just
bam.
like just
Just
like
like that.
That's all he needs.
Let's be bonobos. Let's be swingers and bonobos. And,
There you go.
And polyamorous.
But he's gonna
Kobe
last a couple
steak eaters. A couple seconds.
Humans and chimpanzees and bonobos all share a common ancestor that were a horny ancestor.
Yeah, and they don't have to pay child support. That's a great thing, man.
They do have to chip in though. They're part of the tribe, so they have to do their part.
They have to do their part. See, there's
always a catch.
No matter who you are, there's going to be. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I mean, you had
Lots
to
of
hunt.
these, no
You had to
escaping
hunt
from
There you
it.
food and bring it back and share it and take care of the.
Can I just do that? Instead of paying child support, can I? Here's some grapes and some nuts.
Some
Are we even here? Yeah.
But
We'll do bartering.
They found that with the tribe of bonobos, there's very little conflict amongst. They don't fight each other because everyone's getting all the sex they want.
Wow.
There's no need to get uptight.
There's a lesson in this. Just give me some good head, and I'll,
What I heard in there was the fact that they had so much sex and so much sperm that they had huge balls. So
Yeah.
I think that was probably.
I heard
what
that too.
That's what they were going for, right?
Their semen is competing against each other. So.
Right, and
Right.
the woman was supposed to go out there and collect all that to get the strongest.
job.
The strongest
Yeah,
one.
get the strongest. Now, I would imagine, I don't know if bonobos masturbate, but if we could masturbate as humans, we'd have big balls too, right?
Humans
do
are on the
masturbate.
large side of
Big balls?
Yes, I mean
Okay.
the smallest. I think if you look, gorillas have very tiny testicles because he's got a harem. There's no competition. He doesn't need a lot of sperm.
Decent balls, sperm everywhere. Vato V never gets in. He sits like he has big balls. This guy just sits like he just doesn't even fuck, man.
And you like it.
Now, do you believe arranged marriages
Tell him this guy fucks.
last
This guy
longer
fucks.
than people chasing love?
The statistics are good for arranged marriages. They do last longer. than marriage by choice.
Yeah.
And the reason
wow.
that they give for that, the answer, the theory, is that when two people choose to marry each other, particularly younger people, they don't have very much experience. They're not good at choosing good partners.
Right. So what the wiser folk are better to choose their
When
partner.
your parents choose someone for you, they've got a lot of experience. They're probably going to choose someone who's probably a better match for you.
Wow.
It's so funny.
But here's a question for you. Based on obviously the documentary, does soulmates, does that exist?
What does that mean?
Exactly.
Thank you.
What does that mean?
Sorry.
First, you have to define it. First, you got to believe in souls.
Okay.
Right.
And then, let's say you do. Okay, if there's a soulmate for you, what if your soulmate is born in Moscow or in Beijing?
I agree.
How are you? And you never go there.
Very true.
What if you get married 5 times? Which one of those was your soulmate?
Yeah.
Right. So the experts, when I brought up soulmates, they think it's a negative concept. It hurts people to think there's a soulmate.
I agree with
The way
that.
to look at it is find someone and you make each other's soulmates over time
Yeah.
through shared experience and creating a relationship.
I like
Do you believe that the universe somehow, if this person is your soulmate, will
There you go.
get you two together somehow?
Well, what's controlling that? What's the controlling entity? Now, if you're religious,
There's an angel up there
Right.
controlling the souls
Then
of
you-
people falling in love.
I thought it was the
Kobe
vagina.
steak.
I don't know. I just made that up off the
an
top of my head.
alien, you need some controlling entity that you're going to assume cares so much about your sexual behavior
Yeah.
that it's got nothing better to do than arrange your meetups.
I'm special, Roger.
You see, and I'm not buying into that
special
either.
breed.
I have a hard time believing anyone's trying to control any of that, because if you're jerking off in the shower, do you really want to believe that there's some
Controlling.
entity that is watching over you
I'm special. Send me my loved one so I don't have to do this again.
as you dump your future kids down the drain?
It's difficult to grab
Ebony
onto.
says, "How can your parents choose someone who's better match for you? Your parents don't know how much of a freak you are."
True.
You know what? You came from your parents, and they're probably as big a freak as
Hey,
you are.
Ebony.
That's true. Wow, good comeback. Good comeback.
But they're good at hiding it.
Yes, they are.
They
are very good.
You know, now we have Netflix and chill. They used to have what is that? The drive-in or drive? What is it? The drive-in.
Drive-in
Yeah.
theaters.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
not that young. Stop fronting.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know?
Drive-in is.
That's funny. I showed a
Trust
picture of myself, a very professional picture of myself, to our intern here. And he looks at the picture, and the first thing he says is, "Wow, this is a very professional picture. This does not look like a guy who eats ass." I'm like, what? I do eat ass, so
He's an ass eater.
But you never know. You can have the most
an ass
professional
eater.
looking, the most just congressman, senator. People are
Oh, they're the
animalistic. Yes, they are.
Just horny
Because they're
freaks.
controlled by power. You know, people are animalistic when it comes to what they enjoy sexually. You know,
Yeah.
so
You have to find your match. That's your soulmate.
And
I
that'll
think.
tie right into this also, because what was one of the takeaways I got was acceptance.
That's the
You
secret
have
of
to
happiness. You have to
ac-
accept yourself for what you are and your partner for
Yes.
what they are,
Absolutely.
as freaky as they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they can't change into something else. They can change their behavior to stop getting in trouble, but then they're going to resent you, and they're going to get frustrated, and that's going to turn to anger, and it's going to come out in other ways.
right.
Acceptance is the only
very
way forward.
So you don't think therapy for
That helps you get to acceptance.
that helps me get yeah okay.
You know, another interesting thing that I was when I was watching the documentary, they was talking about. I don't know if it was talking about the female perspective, but when you're 25 or 27 years old, they're pretty much they want to get married by that particular
Or
time.
that was the Asian
right?
culture.
Yeah. Is that the
The
Asian?
left
Yeah,
behind
usually.
women, they call them in China, the leftover women.
Wow.
If you're in your late 20s, they feel like you missed your chance. And the author I interviewed, Joy Chen, she wrote a book called Don't Get Married Until Age 30.
Yeah. Mhm.
She's trying to change that perception that, you know what, enjoy life first
Yes.
and then get married. You're not expired at 27. Nobody is. But that's a
ridiculous.
cultural issue in China.
And you know what? I actually agree with that, because you know a lot of these youngsters nowadays, especially with all the internet going around, you know, with all these online dating and stuff, they just want to fuck around and they don't care.
have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Be bonobos.
Yeah.
You know, let your inner
30
bonobo
years.
out.
I think 30 years old is a pretty good time to get married if
For a
you're going to
woman,
get married. Well,
for a man,
well, it's 40.
50, 60,
45,
you know,
50,
something
60.
like. Well, it's 46. too old for a man to get married?
No.
Wow.
Your sperm is just as potent.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry, that just came out. Yes. Yes, it is. But,
His balls are enlarged.
but what if it's not even about that? What if it's just about being with somebody? What if I don't want to have children? I just want to be with someone.
Ask me what men are attracted to and what women are attracted to, and if they're the same thing or if they're different.
Oh, I'm sure they're different.
Ask the question.
That's the question.
Ask the question.
Okay.
What are men and women attracted to?
What
Is that
are
what
men
you're
and
asking?
women attracted to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Women are attracted to social status.
Yes.
Number one. And they found that when they look at Tinder or take your pick, people have a list of things they look for, qualities in a partner. I want all these high-minded things. But then they can look at the metrics for what they actually choose.
Yeah.
And human beings go for money and looks.
Yeah.
And women go for money first, looks second. Men go for looks first, money second.
Right.
So men are looking for, in the looks category, fertility, outward signs of fertility.
Right.
That's what you're looking for in a woman. That's why they enhance things about themselves that make themselves look fertile, more fertile.
Right.
And that flips switches in your brain and gets you going, and you are attracted. Now, if you want to flip a woman's switches, you act like you have providership.
Yeah.
You're stable, emotionally stable, and a good provider.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, reasonably handsome.
Yeah.
Reasonably.
Whoa.
God, did you tell him that?
Well, no, he said he's talking about an example because if we're talking about me,
In general. No, you got that
handsome
covered.
would be.
You're
Oh,
very
absolutely.
handsome,
Oh,
man.
well, see, that's
all
what-
of you here.
Oh,
I must
no.
say.
Thank you.
Why do you guests do that? You give me a compliment and then you compliment
Take it away.
these guys?
Yeah.
Oh, it just takes away my compliment.
This is quite a table of handsome gentlemen.
Oh,
Thank you,
my
thank you,
God.
thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you very much.
Oh my God! This guy,
Delano, that's where you go. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even your intern is very generous.
thank you.
Oh,
You killed it.
yeah.
Mr. Nygard,
will not
you are
have
such
rock-
a nice guy, Nygard.
Mic off.
Here's a good question. We talked about this before the show. How long are relationships meant to last in
Very good
general?
question.
The experts have answered that for me, and they said as long as it takes to conceive and raise a child to the point where it can take care of itself.
Wow.
So 18 years.
Well, in
16
our
years.
current formula,
Yeah.
we put 18 on it, but in the old days, it was about age 4 to 7.
Wow.
That's why you have the 7-year itch.
That's the question I
Oh,
was
yeah,
going to
you were
ask.
talking
That's the
about that,
question
yeah.
I had.
I thought
What
that was crabs.
Does that exist?
Yes.
7-year itch?
At that point, a child is able to, he's hunting or she is gathering. They're part of the functioning member of the tribe. And
Wow.
Oh, Susie's 4 years old. It's about that time. That is funny.
Mother Nature wants you to mix your genetics
Wow.
with different people. If we you know the problems that the royals have, they're all mixing the same genetic line and they have all
Yeah.
of these weird
They're all
genetic
cousins.
problems.
Yeah.
So it's better.
It's like a big fancy
to mix it
trailer
up.
park.
I have a very important question. Very important question. When you sat there and interviewed Don Blanquito,
Blanquito.
Oh, yeah. We
Right.
got a lot of
was there a naked woman just sitting on the bed, laying on the bed there?
Well, she technically was wearing a thong.
Was she,
Yeah.
It's
oh,
hard
no
to see
thong.
the thong because
And
it's,
was she Bill Cosby? She doesn't
he's
move.
a rapper, and so rappers, they need. It's like decoration. It's art direction.
That was quite a
She
decoration.
didn't even move. She just like
She's resting.
Yeah, we were questioning
Yeah.
her. We were like, wait a minute.
There wasn't even a twitch, no butt cheek, no nothing.
What,
He's
what,
like there.
what these guys are describing here, if you watch the documentary, there's a gentleman,
When you
Don
watch it.
Blanquito, whatever. He's the single guy that you interviewed. He was super single at the
The
time.
most single person I'd ever met in my life.
And the
Right.
most single, I agree with that. That guy was doing his damn thing. And as he's being interviewed by you, he's talking, and then there's this thong naked woman lying in the bed who did not even budge the whole time. And he's talking about what he likes to do to women, the type of women he likes, and this and this and that. And this woman's just laying there butt naked.
Yeah.
And that was some pimp shit right there.
Well, then you meet him,
That
but
was
then
some
you
pimp
see him
shit.
on the beach,
Yeah.
with his girlfriend,
With this sexy
and
chick,
she's
yeah.
she gets a chance to talk about her beliefs and her thoughts, but she was definitely resting.
Yes. I didn't even hear what she said. I was just looking at the parts, man. She
Hey,
was-
but you know what though? As pimp as that guy was, he fell in love.
He fell in love.
He fell in
This
love.
guy
Maybe
had
in
a
lust.
song.
Maybe
This
in
guy had a
lust.
song called "Fuck That Vagina, Fuck the Vagina, 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 Vagina."
the
right?
vagina.
Get
Hit
the
the vagina, hit
vagina.
the vagina. And then 5 years later, he has a song. I'll do it all over again.
Yeah,
To
you guys
find this one.
gotta watch
Yes,
documentary,
I'm in
guys.
love, I'm in love. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
In 5 years,
I
That
didn't
was
see
amazing.
that. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see
That was
it
funny.
either, man. I
In
didn't see
real
it.
life,
didn't either.
it reminds me of an old Woody Allen joke. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
That's very true.
That's true. And then he, it's funny because when you interviewed him 5 years before when he was single guy, he was like, oh, I want a woman that, is going to obey me and do what I say, who's, not too opinionated and listen to me. And then as
Fat
he's being
ass,
interviewed,
fat ass, no waist.
no waist. And then as
Green
he's,
eyes, if
Yep.
possible, but,
All
but
that.
I don't want to be too demanding, he said.
right. I don't want to be.
And the
then,
ass couldn't go wide, but
You can get bigger, but not wider.
wider.
Yeah, that was
That's not right
his
there.
requirement.
yeah, get that. And then as he's being interviewed
catchy
5
song.
years later, his wife looks nothing like he described. She's beautiful. She's sitting there bossing him and bitching him around. And
Yeah.
he's like, yes, ma'am, you're right.
You're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're
Okay.
right. Oh, really? What? He's doing the three words.
But I
and
think-
he's it's just amazing how things changed for him in 5 years. And when I saw that, I was like, there's hope for all of us.
But I think
There's hope for all of
the
us.
reason why he was like that was because he fell in love, but he fell in love because he had a baby, and I saw how passionate he was about that little
Yeah,
girl. That's what broke a man. In my opinion, when you have a kid, that's what pretty much settles you down.
Softens you
it
up,
softens
yeah.
you up.
Not for long.
Especially if you have a daughter. I mean, it's both. But if you have a daughter as a man and you know what you did when in your past, it's like, oh shit.
But
I'm
once
gonna
she
pay for
hits
this.
7 years
Yeah.
old, you're
You
out.
gotta,
yeah.
child support's over.
and I kind of I'm going to agree with that and then one up it with the fact that I think that he shut up and she was making all the rules because of
Exactly.
that legal
Oh
arrangement.
yeah,
that
almost definitely.
he found himself in marriage.
You guys got to watch that documentary.
Well, that's
man,
what
once it
Dr.
comes
Pat
out.
said. Who runs a marriage?
The truth
Who
about
runs a marriage?
marriage.
The truth about marriage.
Who runs a
Valentine's
marriage,
Day.
women or men?
I asked in the documentary,
You did.
I asked this question.
Very important question.
Who is the boss most often in all relationships? More often than not, the man or the woman, and it was unanimous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a woman.
What was the line the guy said? He said, "The man gets the last word when he goes to his wife and says, what's the line?
It was David Larry he said, I'm the boss, and I have the last word, but I don't say anything.
I loved that.
Exactly.
He's like taking the credit and then giving it up in the same sentence.
I also like the one where he said, or she said it's a work in progress, and he said, "Yeah, I work." She gets the progress.
That was excellent too.
Did I say the three words? Did I mention that yet? The three
No,
words?
you
that-
haven't.
I know we talked about it before the show, but
Right,
that
well-
same gentleman said,
Let me set you up. There's when I boiled down what a person can do to improve their relationship, two things came up. And one for the masculine, for men, and we all have masculine and feminine within us, portions of it into different degrees. Obviously, men have more masculine than
feminine
women
right
on average, but we all have some feminine as well.
Some
The
have a lot
masculine-
of feminine.
And you find a partner who is the opposite of you. And whatever that percentage is, you want to find someone who completes you, who doesn't duplicate you. That's what you
Yeah,
want.
nice. Yeah.
So you want two masculines don't work. Two feminines don't work.
Right.
You want a masculine and a feminine together. That's how we're designed.
That's why he's single.
How you make it work is the masculine. If you want to be happier, what you should do is, and try this as an experiment. Guys, if you're listening out there, try this experiment. It costs you nothing, and I guarantee you're going to get dividends. You're going to get more sex. Passion's going to come back. You're going to get more laughter.
No, write
You're
this
gonna
down.
get
Everybody got to write this down. Write it down.
Now you got people listening.
grab your pens out there, mentality.
Here's
They are listening now.
Here's the secret to getting what you want from your woman.
Number
from-
33. This is the minute number 33.
Let them talk.
Go ahead.
Go home every night. The feminine needs 15 to 20 minutes of listening time.
Yes.
So go home, put your phone on airplane mode, make eye contact, and then say, honey, how was your day? How are you feeling? And then shut up. Don't try to solve it. Don't offer solutions. No suggestions. No consultation. And as Doug Williams suggested, three
didn't write it
words.
down.
He
He's
gave
like,
three
I can't do it.
Yes,
words, right?
yes.
So just say, honey, how was your day, honey? And then say,
it's like she says, "How was your day, honey?" What?
Yeah.
For real? No.
and just keep repeating those three words as needed.
What? For real? No. That's it right there.
So that, in fact, is how you be present in a conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that was
Eye
the rule.
contact.
Yes.
though,
Do
right?
not try to. This is the mistake I made in a relationship. I really like this girl, and she made this point out to me, and at the time I didn't listen. Now I understand. After watching your documentary, men, we are so, when we care about someone or love someone, we want to help.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do that because
Shut
and she
up.
told me, she said, you always want to give me advice and da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
Bad.
Just listen to me, you know?
Right.
Women
And
don't
that was
want
my
that.
problem. I didn't get it at the time.
It's a vitamin. She needs this vitamin from you, which
Yeah.
is listening without suggestions for 15 minutes a night.
That's so hard.
on average.
What?
It is.
What?
You got to work hard to
This is
do
a
it.
brownie point, but you have to remember later on what she said, because if you
She's gonna ask
if
you.
she
Oh,
asks
there
you
will
about
be a
later-
test.
If she asks you about later and you forget, you don't know what the hell she said, then you're in trouble.
No,
It
yeah.
helps. It helps to be genuine.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Helps to be genuine.
It's better to do it not genuine than not do it at all.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can withdraw into your brain and think about the game and just nod your head and go, oh, for real?
You're good.
Right.
But
Okay, just
be
listen to a little
present
bit
if
of
you
it.
can.
You
Yeah.
know, Roger, it sounds like you're saying that men need to get their shit together, basically. We're the problems in America.
If you do this one thing, just 20 minutes a night, just give her that. She's going to be much happier. She's going to allow you to do what you want to do more. Watch the game after. Give her what she needs, because if she doesn't get this, she will feel unfulfilled, and she's going to take it out on you because in her frustration.
It's true.
Yeah. What do they say? Happy wife, happy life. You
So
know?
here's another top. These guys said that when women are ovulating, they're attracted to guys like me.
Bad boys.
Uh-huh.
Bad
Yes.
boys.
Or I guess I'm the resident bad boy. And that's amazing because so now I have to walk around and say, what's going on with your cycle right now?
That's right.
You're gonna smell iron.
But it's crazy
can smell you.
how you broke down the biological effects of love. I mean, well, finding a mate. Because I'm not going to say the person's name. They're telling me, I used to be attracted to this guy because of his smell. He had a musty armpit, and I was just so attracted to him.
Wow.
But she was in
Man
Europe.
smell.
She was in
Swamp
Europe.
ass.
Oh, they don't use.
But she said she just loved his scent, and she
Yes.
just
They've
gave it to
done
him.
Is
studies.
he from Africa?
I love the swamp ass about him.
And then she said one day
Texie?
he showered and came with perfume, and she said she was done.
Wow. His pheromones, the pheromones.
Yeah, she
right?
just loved his natural scent.
I'll tell you what's going
She's
on
a
there.
freak.
It's called passion comes from you're attracted to someone, right? And your body tells you if you're attracted. You can't force yourself to be attracted, and your body is sensing the chemical signature
Right.
of a woman, and she's sensing it yours as well.
Right.
They did a study. It's called the T-shirt study, where they had 40 T-shirts
Oh, okay.
that men had worn for a week, and then they gave these T-shirts to 40 women and had them smell the T-shirt and rank each one by attractiveness,
Right.
Oh,
just
wow.
on smell.
Oh wow.
And then they looked for some kind of similarity, like what is consistent among all of these choices when they say it's attractive. And what they found is they were attracted to a man whose immune system was the opposite of theirs.
Right.
If their immune system was the same, not attracted.
Right.
The smell was wrong. And it's in the kiss too. You can feel it, you can taste it and smell it in the kiss.
Yeah.
Because Mother Nature wants a baby to draw from two very different immune systems,
Right.
not two people with the same immune system. The baby has a better chance at survival.
Wow.
How did they know
Wow.
the person's immune system and what?
There is it's called the MHC, Major Histocompatibility Complex, and there's 100 or something, couple hundred different possible combinations, and you're somewhere on that spectrum. And when you feel passion, your woman is on the near the opposite end of that spectrum from you.
Wow.
It's all about nature. And when you kiss someone, sometimes when I kiss a woman, there's this, I don't know, I
Thought it
guess
was
I
all
call
about
them
the internet.
pheromones.
That's why you're single.
Or their nose breath. What, because I kiss?
I thought the internet
Nose
controlled passion
breath?
today.
I call it nose breath. Like you can smell the breath from their nose. And sometimes it's so intoxicating to me.
Yeah, it's you
Yeah.
found a match, a chemical match. That's
Yeah.
passion, and so chemistry is what is needed for longevity in a relationship. But that chemistry is short-circuited by the birth control pill.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
The
that's
birth
the-
control
yeah, that's
pill
the
issue here. That's
estrogen.
true.
A woman on a birth control pill is not attracted to you. She's attracted to the safe guy, not to the bad boy.
Why am I the safe guy?
Well-
I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad. I got some bad boys.
You know what? This
No, I
is
know
making
what you
sense.
Yeah. So that means you're never going to get laid because every woman you try to fuck is going to be on her period.
That
Mr.
is
Bad
fucked
Boy.
up.
Me, I'm going to get that ass when it's ready to go.
You gotta fuck it anyway, bro.
You got to find out.
I don't though.
You got to know. You got to recognize the signs
No
of
Red
fertility.
Wings?
You got to recognize the signs of ovulation.
We're gonna have a talk after the show. We're gonna talk.
gotta
Hey,
get your Red Wings.
There are
Liz
ways to
Castillo,
know.
who follows us, she says, "We listen to your shit, so listen to us."
Yeah.
That's a good point, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Well, a man has a certain amount of feminine as well, and a man needs to download occasionally and talk about his day, but in a smaller quantity.
Right.
yeah,
the
we
feminine,
just
that's all.
don't talk very much.
We're not good listeners, are we?
Terrible.
Yeah.
We talk a lot. I mean, look.
About bullshit.
I think at the end,
about bullshit.
at the end of the talk, though, the guys want to like get laid.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
I'm
problem.
done
That's what
talking
it
now.
is.
Can we
Yeah,
do
I'm
this?
talking my way into those pants. That's the whole goal.
But we need to listen for 15 minutes. God, that's not hard, guys.
That's a long time.
It's hard for him.
That's half an episode of
Yeah.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's my favorite show.
When you say it like
But
that,
it's worth it. Otherwise, you're going to drift apart because a relationship it's like a flower that needs attention, and if you don't give it attention, it's slowly going to wilt and die over time.
Yeah.
Relationships naturally deteriorate over time if you don't put conscious intention into maintaining it.
Very good.
Absolutely.
And this is one of the best ways to do it is just 15
So-
minutes of listening.
do you believe we should have a lot of similarities? Like, for example, he should find someone who watches Sunny, or I want to find someone who loves Manchester United like I do.
No. It's got to be an opposite, like he said earlier, man. That's gonna
Opposites attract.
If she's a Liverpool fan, it's not going to work out.
That's true. This guy.
There's a
he will
discrepancy. You said 50 minutes or 15 minutes.
15, 1
15.
5.
Okay.
15
Okay.
to 20. So
Okay,
maybe
15.
maybe it's 30
That's not
one
bad.
night. Maybe
50
it's
minutes is
10
a long
another
time.
night.
Okay.
It's going to vary. On an average.
If I gotta listen to her longer than this show, then it's not happening.
This is actually
Whole hour.
helping me because sometimes I'm like, I'm never home and I'm only here for like 2 hours and we didn't even really have a conversation. I didn't realize it was only just 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, we don't have to do. All we have to do
You
is
can drink a
listen.
beer.
All we have to do
Right?
is
Well, I
we don't
do.
even talk.
Can I text her? 15 minutes of texting.
Well, you're taking the dump.
Texting, it's better than not texting, but it's not as good as a phone call, and it's better in person. But a phone call is better than nothing, but there's nothing better than in person, eye contact, being present, and proving it. But women, if there are women listening, don't
Oh, they're
take
listening.
Well, that's half.
advantage. Don't take advantage of this and demand more than your 15 to 20 per night.
That's true.
Or,
16.
or this valuable resource is going to begin to be withdrawn from you.
Are you listening, ladies?
Gonna
Yeah,
fall
ladies.
asleep. Absolutely.
I have
Half
a
our
hard
guests.
time after like a minute. So I have to work on
That's
that.
his sex life.
ADD.
Yeah.
And it's not that has
But
that-
don't,
You have a
they
soft time after a
Don't
minute,
they have
sir.
girlfriends for the rest of the time?
Yes, yes. Your job is 15,
and
and,
then the
if you don't
girlfriend-
put it in, you won't maintain your relationship, or it'll be much harder. The longevity may take a hit over time.
And then I have a girlfriend. Give her 15 minutes to go to my girlfriend's.
That's why it sucks to have multiple girlfriends.
Yeah.
It does.
It's
I always
expensive.
say this. If your boss gave you a
And times it
project,
to me.
gave you 3 projects and said, I want all these projects to be A+ projects, chances of that happening is going to be very rare. Than him giving you that one project you can put all your focus in, chances of that project being successful is pretty high, And it's hard dealing with one woman. You have 3 or 4 different women. So
you know what? Right now, this makes me feel like dealing with that other woman. All right, that does this.
Oh,
that
the old lady.
Are we,
Dr. Pat.
are
Dr.
we-
Pat.
Yes.
Our station mate.
Are
gotta get
we
her on the
there
show.
for the women and kids, or are they there for us?
Is that very true?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
she
She said
threatened
that-
to kill us if
Kill us.
we didn't do
Old
a good
farts.
job.
When your old
old
farts will
farts.
kill you.
yeah, that woman was something else. We're going to get her on the show, by the way, Dr.
She
Pat.
has a show
amazing.
here, right?
Yeah.
has a show
She
here.
does. She does remotely, but she comes like
Yeah.
every
She's
now.
great.
We can get her here.
What's the difference between a wife and a prostitute? Is one of the questions she asked.
Yes, a prostitute, and Stevie Ray Fromstein answers this question best, I think. He's a comedian friend of mine that I interviewed. He said that prostitution, well, people say that prostitution is renting your body, or excuse me, let me back up. Prostitution is selling your body. But in reality, prostitution is renting your body. Marriage is selling your body.
Yeah, that's
There it
true.
is.
Yes, a short amount of time. You're renting
Property.
it for a few, hours.
Dr. Pat's
Instead of
quote
the rest of your
was
life. That's very
that
true.
the only difference between prostitution and a wife is
Laundry.
one has to do laundry.
I thought it was one of them you don't allow in your house, man.
So I can have a pickup line and say, "Do you want me to buy you or rent you?"
Then you're gonna get slapped.
Terrible.
Yeah, Me
You're
Too
getting
movement.
bucked up.
Me Too movement.
You might want to, have a little better
I'm
game.
really a nice guy, though. I'm really a nice guy.
He's a
I'm giving
bad
right-
boy. He's a bad boy.
No, I'm
man.
not.
Is it meant for every human being to eventually fall in love, or can one go through their whole lives without ever falling in love with someone? A lot of people fear that they're
question.
never going to find that loved one or that soulmate, if you will. Because as you know, we don't love them hoes, right? So we want to know, which one. What's the answer to that question?
Love is usually a surprise to men. We don't generally set out to find love. We set out to get laid. And then suddenly we realize we're in love when it's so painful.
That's what happens
Women
with
don't
me.
get that, though, right?
And when you come back, that circular
you are so
thing,
on point with that.
And I'm forgetting what it was called, but the guys, once it's locked down, they leave.
Here's
come
what
back
happens
thing.
for the masculine. This is the counterpoint to the listening. Women, here's what you need to understand and accept about men. Men go through, or the masculine, and women do this too, and then when they're in their masculine, but the masculine goes through an orbit. The masculine, men and women, they both seek connection. Women want connection. The feminine wants connection 24/7. But that's not good. The masculine, once he has connection, begins to seek freedom. And so then he wants to get away. And so he orbits away. And when you try to stop that orbit, it creates frustration, which leads to anger. And eventually, it's going to come out in some other way. So you got to allow the orbit, because once man orbits away, he begins to miss her, and then wants connection again. Then he
Yes.
comes back again.
Yes.
Now, the way to facilitate this for the men, there's a way to do it. When you're starting to feel like you need to get away to get your time, and women too, they need their time alone sometimes, you announce your disconnection. Honey, I'm going to go golfing with my friends, and when you announce your disconnection, you also have to announce when you're going to reconnect. I'm going golfing with my buddies, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you for dinner at 7:30. Now she knows you're disconnecting. She knows when you're going to reconnect. She feels safe and secure. And then you've got to be home. You better be home at 7:30 and keep your word or call.
Wow.
And then that makes it go smoothly for both.
Can I say, honey,
Jesus,
we
this
just
is
had
amazing.
great sex. I'll see you when I see you, and
day.
whenever
Whenever I want.
whenever my balls grow, Bonego balls.
That's not going to make her as comfortable.
Oh my God.
Because sometimes I don't know when I want to see her; it just happens naturally. I'm like, oh, I miss her, or sometimes I don't miss her.
He gets a little tingle in his dick.
Yeah. No,
Oh, if
Peter.
that was the case, and I'd miss her all the time.
Well, if you only miss her sometimes, it means you probably didn't find somebody else.
So here's the question: What is the key to a relationship? Now, obviously, we probably know the answer to that, but what
To
is
making
the
a
key?
relationship
To
last.
making a relationship last?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Part of it is ask for what you want. People are afraid to ask for what they want.
I like to have my ass licked.
Ask. How is she going to know if you don't tell her?
You're in the wrong room
How
for
is he
that.
going to know?
Scully, I want my ass.
I was dating this
saying-
woman once, and I was making all kinds of mistakes and getting in trouble. And then I said, give me a list of 10 things you'd like for me to do.
great.
And so she did. She wanted me to open car doors for her, hold her hand, buy her gifts. She put it all on a list. And you know what? It was great because I knew the formula. She helped me crack the code.
Just by asking her.
I gave her what she wanted. She was much happier.
Smart. Are you married?
And I learned
Roger Nygard?
no, never married.
Yeah.
That's why I went down this journey to figure out why I'm such a failure.
Are
Yeah.
you looking?
Are you in a
currently-
relationship?
Yeah.
I'm currently single.
Wow.
Are you looking to find that special someone?
Wide open to whatever the universe provides, and your entity, whatever your entity has got lined up for me.
Are women afraid of you because all of this knowledge?
You're like the
You're
perfect
Yoda
man.
to us. You're like a Jedi.
Yes, you're like the perfect man. I'm after this show, and you're touring and things like that, or pronouncing. You're gonna not have any trouble finding a woman.
I think Dylan
Fairly
wants to date
handsome
you now.
guy, you
Right.
know?
I feel like I'm on a Don Blanquito trajectory sometimes. That there's a surprise in
single
my
guy.
future.
Do you know Portuguese?
Yeah. I know, right?
Well, I tell you, you were absolutely great. We loved having you here
definitely.
today. And my last question is, why should I? I'm not married. Why should I get married?
Because here's the lesson I learned in making this film, and it was kind of the twist ending, and it surprised me, is that whether the relationship goes badly or it goes well, it was still great that you had that experience.
It's better to have loved than lost than never to have loved at all.
Life
right?
is better shared.
Yeah.
That sunset is far more beautiful when you
With
can
somebody
experience
else,
it
yeah.
with somebody
That's
than
actually true.
alone.
Exactly.
No one looks back on their life and says, Look at these pictures of me alone at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Look at this picture of me with my cat.
Yeah.
It's like, look at me with my significant other and friends and family. We're social creatures.
Yep.
And so we need to connect. We need to be with somebody. And it's going to be hard. But if it wasn't difficult, it wouldn't be value. It would have no value.
Exactly.
Tech C, he messes with me all the time. He says I'm going to die alone. He tells me that all the
don't
time.
think he's
We're
messing
all
with
going to
you.
die alone.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
bound to
you.
happen.
We're going to die alone, all of us, sir, not just me. So my question to you
Who's
is,
going to die with
isn't
us?
he an asshole?
I mean, most people are just going to watch us go and be like sad or whatever the fuck.
We're going to die
You're
by
gonna
ourselves.
die by
You gotta
ourselves.
make
Don't
sure
take that
that
special person with
You got to die first is the only way to make sure you don't die alone, and then you leave your spouse holding the bag or your dead
That
hand.
just means he's gonna die and have no one next to him.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit more about what you have coming up. We're going to talk a little bit more about the documentary, but I got to give shouts out to my sponsor here. If anybody's feelings were injured by today's show, we can't help you there, okay? But if you're ever injured physically, then call Balorian and Manukian, okay? Balorian and Manukian, professional injury lawyers with real results. A firm with justice, honor, and honesty. They win 99% of their cases. For a free consultation, call today, 747 Fo. And before we get out of here, Mr. Roger Nygard, that's how you say it. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience out there about what you have coming up? How they can cut your IG,
And
anything?
where can
sure.
we see the documentary?
The film is called
Yes.
The Truth About Marriage, and the book, there's a companion book for those who want the notes I took for you with these tips and many other tips to help you improve the trajectory of your relationship or future relationships. TheTruthAboutMarriage.com is where you can go, and it'll show you where you can get the video or the book.
Truthaboutmarriage.com. And that's your book as well, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so any last words before we get out of here? We got about 30 more seconds left that you like to say about your experience here today, or anyone out there you're trying to
Can't
hook
wait
up
to
with
come
or anything
back
like that?
and-
You'll be back.
Oh, you'll be back.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Back
Almost
on our
definitely.
2-hour show.
Yeah.
yes, we have a 2-hour show actually coming up here. It's going to be our
Hopefully
100th
soon.
episode. So you may be right back. We may have contact you and have you come back to our show within a few weeks.
Could I see, do you have a Mexican word coming up? Is
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Could I make a request?
Yes.
What is the Mexican or the Spanish word for spouse?
Ooh. The Spanish word for spouse?
Yeah.
Compañera.
Isn't esposa?
Oh, esposa. Yeah, esposa.
What does that
Handcuffs.
mean?
Handcuffs.
I love it.
That is very true.
I love it.
Handcuffs.
I love it.
Locking it
Ball and
up.
chain. How do you say ball and chain?
What is that? I don't even know how to say ball
La
and chain.
Valentina.
You're not Mexican then.
Valentina.
Taco for Paco.
Dick and balls.
Isn't that ironic?
Great job.
Speaking of our Mexican word of the day, Vato V, what is our Mexican word of the week?
African.
African. How? What, sir? Excuse me. Are we going there this week?
African.
Yep.
How is African our Mexican word of the week, sir?
I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what her damn problem is, but she is a freaking bitch.
Hey, we all fucked up here. I fucked up.
fucked it
Texie
up.
is fucked up. So, before we get out of here, Mr. Roger Nygard, thank you so much for being here today.
You guys
We
are
loved
fun.
having you here. You were great. Please catch the documentary.
Truth
It is
About
The
Marriage.
Truth About Marriage.
Marriage.
It is a great one. Trust me. We're not just saying this. You will enjoy it. You'll love it.
And you'll learn something that will improve
Oh,
your
yeah.
life.
You'll learn so many things.
I
Not
learned
just
a lot.
something. You'll learn so many
If you
things.
want to get laid, this will help you.
If you want to get laid, if you want to get married, if you
They go together, those two things.
That's true.
Or you want to fix your man, ladies? Have
Well,
them watch
sometimes
it.
they
Haven't watched
do
it.
and sometimes they don't, because people are saying they don't always get laid.
People are saying that they don't always get
well,
laid.
in the they don't always have sex. So
There's a passion drop off,
Yeah.
and so there was a way to
Reconnect?
to fix, reignite
Well, let's
the
talk about
passion.
that on the
Yes.
next show.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get out of here. www.thementalityshow.com. You can catch our past episodes on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel,
Please.
The Mentality Show, LA Talk Radio, and Facebook Live. Catch us now on iTunes, Google Play, and now iHeartRadio.
Spotify.
From Delano, KC, Scully, Texie, Vato V, and Roger Nygard.
Yes.
Remember, in life, folks, you're good, but with our help,
You
could be the best. We'll see you next week.
Vámonos.
You're listening to The Mentality Show, only on LA Talk Radio.